however you want to take it is however you're gonna take it, child. I can't micromanage your feelings, okay? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl JD here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a recap of one specific couple from the 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, their most recent season. I believe they're either on season 5 or 6. I can never remember, but I had to do a video dedicated to just them because they have been fascinating me lately. I think I did another video a little while ago. I'll probably link it in the corner here for you guys, but I did a video dedicated to just TJ, Kimberly, and then Brandon and Mary. And y'all, some things have been happening with them too, but it's a lot less than what's been going on with Shekinah and Sarper. And in that other video that I did a recap of all the couples from The Other Way, I still didn't get to see much of Sarper and Shekinah yet. So now that I have seen quite a few episodes of them together, honey, we got a lot to discuss. Okay, so I figured today was as good a time as any to do a little bit of, you know, beautifying. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of a get ready with me today. And I already did my hair, which was like a really just, you know, slick back pony with a little bit of like a middle part, sort of. I'm just gonna put my scarf on really quickly because, you know, natural hair, curly hair, whatever you want to call it, it loves to frizz, okay? So real quickly, before I even put a drop of foundation on this face, I do want to say that I make videos on TV shows, from reality TV to like more blockbuster, serious, dramatic TV shows, just the whole 9 yards. And also, if you're interested in hair and beauty while we're at it from time to time, like this video, you know, I like to dip and dabble. So if that interests you, definitely hit that subscribe button. But now we're gonna hop into Sarper and Shekinah. Sarper, we find out, is from Turkey, and Shekinah is from specifically LA. Let's just say she kind of lives up to the stereotype of what you would deem as like a typical LA girl. Like, I don't say that to be mean, but it's just kind of like one of those stereotypical type of things that you imagine when you envision LA. She kind of embodies a lot of those things. You got the dramatic eyelashes, makeup, lip fillers, a lot of hair, the boobs. I think she might have had work done, I don't know, but either way, she just looks very like stereotypical in my mind. One thing that I actually found out about Shekinah that I thought was pretty interesting, and that if you watched the show as well you would have found out, but she actually grew up Amish, believe it or not. And I'm just like, oh, I would have never guessed that, because she is the complete opposite of what I envisioned an Amish girl dressing or looking like. I believe she said that her parents just liked how the Amish lived and they just decided to join the community, which is so bizarre. You don't ever hear about that. You hear about, you know, the Roomspringer thing where they decide if they want to come back or not. And there's quite a few of them here and there. They even made a whole show about it on TLC. But, you know, there's quite a few of them that end up leaving. But, you know, they get excommunicated and they can't talk to their family anymore. But I think in Shekinah's case, her family after a while did end up just leaving. So she didn't have to worry about the whole excommunication thing. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I think they all left together because she now has her sister and everybody to talk to. But she had pictures and everything with them in like the Amish clothes and whatnot. So yeah, she's not lying. They were really Amish. So that really took me off guard. I was like, wow, I was not expecting that, Shekinah. So we're not gonna leave this forehead naked today. So hopefully it blends in and it doesn't look too white, because it is looking kind of casty up here. So let's hope for the best. So how Sarper and Shekinah meet, I do believe that Shekinah was taking a trip to Turkey. I think they ended up matching on like a dating app while she was over there. I think that's low-key kind of dangerous. Like, dating apps are kind of dangerous as a whole, okay, already, but when you're in a foreign country, it's even more dangerous in my mind to just meet up with someone. And I believe it was like a second date that they were supposed to go on. Sarper ended up getting sick and Shekinah just took care of him, and it's just like, you don't even know this man, like, okay. But I guess that's, you know, to show that she does have a nice spirit and she is very dedicated to whoever it is that she really likes. So I think that's a good characteristic to have, but you could easily get taken advantage of like that. So yeah, but either way, Sarper, you know, he was just like, oh my god, I've never had anyone taking care of me like that before. So, you know, they ended up dating, and obviously Shekinah has to go back to LA because she has her life there, her kid there, so she has to go back eventually. So they've been having like a pretty long distance relationship going on. But then she decides, you know what? I'm tired of this long distance thing. I'm just gonna go to Turkey and live with Sarper. Okay, we're just gonna figure it out as we go. And it just sounds really kind of delusional. In my mind, it's just like, you're moving there? It's one thing when you have these couples, they've been long distance for a while. We've seen them on 90 Day Fiance. But they've been long distance for a while, and then, you know, they just decide to go and visit. Okay, they don't move, they visit first. Okay, so Shekinah really kind of blows my mind here. She's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do me and, you know, just go. So there were quite a lot of red flags from the jump. Before she even moved to Turkey, her friends and family were kind of the ones to point out like, okay, there's some things that you might need to address when you actually get over there, right? Now, will she is the question. Right. So Sarper isn't really known as the loyal type, okay? He kind of boasts to his friend, who's also a trainer. We find out Sarper is a trainer. They're in the gym, they're working out, and he's just like, yeah, you know, I had like thousands of women, like 2,000 women that he had relations with. I'm just like, okay, I doubt it's that high, but either way, that's kind of gross. I would not want to be in a relationship giving myself physically over to this person when they've given themselves over to that many people. Like, ooh. I know it's different for guys. That's just kind of like the double standard that we have. That's just a thing. I think that guys also kind of forget that there's a lot of good women out there that don't want to be giving themselves over in that way intimately with you if you've done this with so many other women. It's okay if it's like a couple here and there, but if it's like in the 3 digits, that's disgusting to a lot of women. I just thought I should let y'all know, because a lot of men be like, oh, women don't care, but men do. And it's just like, no, women do care. It's just that we give you guys a little bit more leeway than you give women. Okay, so I just want to clarify that. I think that's disgusting when you're into 3 digits. I said what I said, but moving on, because you know there's probably gonna be a lot of people in the comments that are like, why are you S-shaming? Because I can't say the word, but you're like, why are you shaming? I could do what I want. However you want to take it is however you're gonna take it, child. I can't micromanage your feelings, okay? So we find out, like I said already, that Sarper is a trainer. He's also a model, and thirdly, he is a exotic dancer of some kind. I don't know if he quit that job after he got into a relationship with Shekinah, but yeah, that's what I believe he said, that he's a dancer of the exotic variety. Shekinah, before she leaves, she does meet up with her ex-husband because they're trying to work out how they're going to deal with their daughter that they have together, who's going to take charge and kind of be the parent while she is away. Obviously, it's gonna have to be him because she's not gonna be physically there. But her ex-husband is quite a few years older than her, so that was an interesting relationship, I'm sure. I think it's okay if they're a couple years, but it seemed like there was a good chunk of years between them. But you could tell that he was definitely on the fence about her going all the way to Turkey for a guy. Okay, much like the rest of her friends and family. They're like, why? It's not even like she's visiting. She is moving to Turkey. Okay, so everybody's on the edge of their seat really trying to figure out like what's gonna go on with her and Sarper when she actually gets to Turkey, because you know that relationship is very different when you guys are in person than when you're just talking to each other online, you know, or on the phone. Before she goes off, she drops her daughter off at the airport. She gets her daughter on a plane to head back to her, I think it's some type of boarding school or something. And you could tell her daughter is also very concerned, much like her sister, because of some things that Sarper said that didn't really sound too great. After that, Shekinah's sister drops her off at the airport and she heads over to Turkey, meets up with Sarper. Everything is going pretty cool. I think Sarper even showed up with some flowers. But when we get to Sarper's apartment, the first thing Shekinah makes note of is the bed. Why is the bed still the same? We already agreed that you were going to change out the bed. Even the headboard, y'all, is looking crazy. Like, it needed to be replaced. Regardless of the history that probably took place on that bed, it was too old to keep. Like, you had to get rid of that regardless. The physical shape that bed was in, it needed to go, okay? But Sarper was like, yeah, I don't really see the big deal. Like, I could just replace it later. But Shekinah is headstrong about this, and she goes to sleep on the couch. She was super serious, okay? Like, no, I'm not sleeping on that bed. You probably smashed a bunch of women, and I just think that's kind of nasty. So I kind of agree with her, but even if it wasn't a matter of that, like I said, the bed just looks gross. I'm just going to be honest, like, it needed to go. Anyway, so like I said, she kind of goes to sleep on the couch, and Sarper joins her, and then he complains about the fact that, you know, he's not really meant to be sleeping on the couch, his back's hurting, whatnot. And I'm like, okay, well, you decided to not listen to her when she was being super serious about replacing that bed. Like, you should have taken her seriously and replaced it. Obviously, beds aren't cheap, but at the same time, I think that's some type of sacrifice that you will just have to make just to make her comfortable. But either way, that same day, that second day that she's there, this man takes out a scale. Yes, he takes out a scale and weighs her. Remember I said there were some red flags that popped up even before she went over to Turkey? Yeah, that's one of those red flags. This man, even though he's a trainer and all, it's hella weird that you're giving this woman a target weight to be at. This woman already looks pretty in shape. As in shape as she's probably gonna be. And you're giving her a target weight to lose, like, what, 10 pounds or something, I think they said? That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. It's taking controlling to another level. And at first I thought, you know, he was joking when he took out the scale, you know, playing around with her. But no, he's serious. Like, get on the scale. Like, you really need to be at this weight that I told you I wanted you to be at. Yeah. Yeah. If that ain't crazy, y'all, I was like, the fact that Shekinah didn't walk out in that moment, book a ticket, get a hotel first, then book your ticket to go back to America. I would have done that the moment I saw him be super serious about me getting on that scale and losing weight. That, I think, is very much so toxic. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. And I don't say that word lightly. I know these days people just, you know, throw it out there all willy-nilly, but I'm being so serious. Moving past that ordeal, they end up going to the gym together. Another issue, okay? But this time, I think I might be on Sarper's side just a little bit. Sarper has a client that he has to train that day, and it's a woman. And I guess Shekinah had told him or voiced to him that she has issues with him training women. But the thing is, when you're a trainer, most of your clients are going to be women because most guys don't really use trainers. They go to the gym and they figured they could just handle it by themselves. They're not really interested, unless they're trying to be like a bodybuilder or they're training for something specific. Most guys don't have trainers. Most guys aren't out there seeking trainers. So most of the clients you're gonna have are going to be female. So if you're telling him that he can't have female clients, I'm pretty sure that's going to diminish his clientele and eventually his income by a lot. So I think that's asking a lot of him to do. So I think she might just have to deal with that, unfortunately. Obviously, he's going to have to set boundaries with these women, but I don't think he did anything necessarily inappropriate. I mean, he kissed the woman on the cheek to greet her, sort of. It was kind of like a more of a cheek type of smack, and then he made a kissing sound. But that's kind of what they do in Turkey when they greet each other. So I'm just like, I don't think he did anything inappropriate. But either way, child, either way, Shekinah was not having it. She walked away. And you could tell Sarper, when he noticed that Shekinah was in the gym, like she was by the bathroom somewhere, I think, he comes over to her and he's just like, what's going on? You know, like, I don't understand. I, in that moment, didn't really think it was that serious. Shekinah just pretty much reminds him, like, what she said already about him having female clients and being uncomfortable with it. She was eating this lollipop at the time, and he just takes the lollipop out of her hand and throws it on the floor. And it's just like, wait, hold up. I don't think it was that deep though, Sarper. Like, I really don't think it was that deep. Clearly, he was getting very irritated. But regardless, we end up cutting that scene. I just was like really confused. I'm like, okay, I don't think it was that serious, but okay. You know, that was a bit red flag-ish. Like, you can't really control your anger type of red flag. It's Scary. Very scary. We're just gonna do like a pink purple look today, you guys, because I can't really think of anything else. I have a very limited makeup palette at the moment. I need to invest in some more makeup. I've been saying that for a minute, but it's going to happen eventually. So around this time is when Shekinah's sister, what's her name again? Shariah. Shariah or Sharia? Shariah. I'm gonna say Shariah. But Shekinah's sister Shariah comes to Turkey to meet up with Shekinah and Sarper, get to know Sarper a little bit more. They're supposed to, I guess, meet up at Sarper's apartment where Shekinah is obviously staying. He was planning on making a traditional Turkish dish for them. It does not go well. It goes downhill real fast and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Shariah was trying to just make conversation, feel Sarper out. And I guess Sarper wasn't really feeling it that night. He was just really touchy. Like I said, he kind of already displayed that he doesn't really know how to control his anger, it seems. You know, for a while it seemed like he was doing a pretty good job, but I guess we saw the real Sarper at that gym. Okay, she ends up asking him, how would you feel if Shekinah asked you to see your DMs? This was just a hypothetical question, y'all. This was not something that she was asking him to do. This is not something that Shekinah was asking him to do. None of that, okay? This was just a hypothetical question. And this man loses it. He is just like, why would she ask me that? I don't think that she needs to see that. Like, that's just so silly to me. And then he starts throwing around words like, okay, she's just being really difficult. She would need to see it. You're just being really like nosy, pretty much. And then he calls her the B word. And it's like, wait, how did we escalate to this point? You know, like, I'm really trying to figure that out. This man literally calls Shekinah, even though she had nothing to do with this conversation. This is a hypothetical conversation going on between Shariah and Sarper, okay? Shekinah was not involved. But she did start kind of pressing him a little bit, like, why would you be uncomfortable? You know, like with me seeing your DMs. And this is before he calls her the B word. He calls her that in front of Shariah, in front of her sister. And I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is definitely not going the way that I think you guys were intending and the way that Shekinah, I think, was envisioning in her mind. So the night just goes terribly wrong. This is not how you would want a first time interaction in person to go between your family member and the supposed love of your life that you're interested in at the moment, I guess. Shariah walks off and Sarper just stands there squeezing, I guess, the juice or whatever it is out of whatever he's doing or making. I don't know the name of the dish. But yeah, he just continues on doing what he's doing. He could care less that Shariah walked off. And I'm just like, wow. Wow, Sarper. Good job. I could tell that you care so deeply. But thankfully, Shekinah convinces Raya and Sarper to meet up again, obviously with her present as well. They, you know, try to have a little bit of a conversation. Sarper apologizes, but I don't know if he really means it. I could tell that Shariah was also questioning whether he was being sincere or not, and also if he's actually going to make the changes that he claims he's gonna make. For example, with his social media, because he's very active on social media, being a trainer, model, and whatnot. And there was a conversation that came up before Shariah even came into the picture that Shekinah had with Sarper about posting her on his page. And in the beginning, he just kind of throws it off. He's just like, well, I don't want people asking me too many questions because then the women that I dated in the past, they're gonna start coming up out of the woodworks and, you know, trying to come after you a little bit. And I don't want them to tell you things that aren't really true or things like that. But at the same time, why can't you just tell her what the real deal is? He's in a relationship with you, not those women. You know what I mean? He uses that as the first excuse. And then he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna post you in my stories, right? And she's just like, that's not the same. Because if you think about it, stories disappear. Why would I want to be in your stories and not on your feed, not on your profile? Like, what? So yeah, I can understand why she was just really confused with that. Because like, okay, why can't you just post me though? Just so people know, like, this is my territory. I'm your territory. Like, I know that sounds really like, you know, you own a person. That's not really what I'm trying to say, but it's just more like I'm in a relationship with this person. Don't touch him. Don't be talking to them in a flirtatious manner because I'm watching. So I can understand what Shekinah was saying, especially with both of them being very involved on social media. I can understand why that would be important to Shekinah. I think obviously with couples that aren't really that involved on the platforms, I'm sure it wouldn't really bother you guys. But for those people who are, like for me, for example, I know I'm very much so involved on all my social media platforms. So I would like to see a post every now and again so that people know, like, we together, you and me, you know, we go together. That type of vibe. I'm not saying that I'm obsessed with it. Like, if he doesn't do that, I'm fine. But it would be nice to see, you know, like, you know, he does care. You could tell that Shariah is still very much so like, I don't know, you know, like very iffy about Sarper. And I can understand. Coming from a sister, a family member, I would definitely be looking at him a little sideways if I was in her shoes, okay? If my sister was dating some dude like that, I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't got time for the BS. My sister might believe you're fluffery, but I'm not gonna believe you're fluffery. All right? It seems as though they took a picture so that Sarper specifically could post it on his profile on Instagram. And this man in the next episode, y'all, this man says he forgot to post it. And I'm just looking at him like, what are you talking about? You just post it now. And then he's just like having issues about posting it, you know, because he's just like, no, I don't really want to post it anymore, you know, like the moment's passed basically. And I'm just like, what is happening? So yeah, that was strange. So that happens in the next episode, but it doesn't really surprise me because Sarper seems like a flip-flopper. I really think he has something to hide. As soon as he said with that hypothetical question to Shariah, he's just like, yeah, no, she can't really see my DMs. No, that's not gonna happen. As soon as he said that, Shariah is just looking at Shekinah like, he clearly has something to hide, sis. Sis, he has something to hide. You need to figure out what it is. And I back her 100%. Shariah is my spirit animal. If I was somebody in 90 Day Fiance, it would be her. Because I'm like, no, that do not sound right. That did not sound right. And he would say things every now and again to Shekinah, and Shekinah would kind of tell Shariah some of the things that he would say. And Shariah is just like, that does not sound great. He would say things about, you know, her weight, how he wants her to be at a certain weight so that she could be the most beautiful woman in the world. And I'm like, girl, this is a red flag. I really think you should acknowledge these red flags because there's so many coming your way and you're just ignoring them. Okay, 1 second. I gotta spray. What am I missing? Oh yeah, my lip gloss. I don't really have anything that's like not brown. I'm gonna use this NYX Ginger Snap. This is their butter gloss. Hopefully it's not too dark. I'm just gonna use a little bit of it. What do y'all think? Yeah, that might be a little too dark. I don't have anything clear anymore. Everything that I have is like neutrals and browns. Whatever, we're just gonna go with it. Let's take this off. But after this video, I'm just gonna hop in and do the recap for all the other couples because their craziness has been getting crazier lately as well. So don't worry, that'll be coming, but I'm probably gonna try my best to put out this video before I put that one out. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully I don't look crazy because sometimes I'll be looking at myself in the mirror. Like I have a mirror right underneath my camera so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just like, it looks okay. But then when I see it on camera, I'm just like, I don't really like it. So yeah, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping for the best for mostly Shekinah because Sarper doesn't strike me as the type of person that's interested in the relationship. I think he's more interested in the fantasy of what Shekinah represents, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see an actual long-term relationship between these two. Like, it just seems very surface level, mostly on Sarper's end. I feel like for Shekinah, she might be in it for the right reasons, but I think that she is kind of ignorant in some areas with regards to, you know, the red flags. Like, she keeps seeing certain things as cute or that he cares about her, and it's just kind of like, no, this is a red flag. Run away. And her sister Shariah and all the rest of her friends are just like, yeah, please run away. And she's just like, no, it's okay. So yeah, I'm kind of worried to see where this is gonna end up going. And it looks like we only have a couple more episodes after this. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But y'all can let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you're thinking is going to happen. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.